beauties, Kira here, and today I am going to be talking about a few books that I got last month in the month of August 2019. I actually did really well last month. I actually got small enough haul that I can actually hold it all into frame. Now, I did do a book outlet unboxing, which I will leave the link up there for, which was the other stack of books that I got for August. But overall, I did really well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into this, probably the smallest book haul that I have had on this channel since it started, to show you guys what I ended up getting. So one of the first books that I got is A Quiet Girl in a Noisy World, an Introvert Story by Debbie Tung. This is a graphic novel, and it's really about an introvert's journey. I did actually end up reading this, and I adore, and I mean absolutely adore, this book. It was just so good. It really spoke to the introvert in me, and it really made me feel completely seen and understood as far as my introverted nature goes. I felt like this did a really good job on capturing it. As far as graphic novels go, the illustrations themselves are fairly simple, just like little black and white illustrations, but I still really loved this, like how they conveyed it and everything was just really simplistic and very easily understood. So this was just amazing. I ended up finding it on Amazon for like about little under $8, and I've been looking at it for like a long time, but like when it got that low, I was just like, I think it's time to just go ahead and splurge on this, because I've been looking at this for like over a year now. So I just went ahead and ended up getting it. So on top of that, I ended up going to Barnes & Noble, and they had some really good sales going on books that I was kind of like looking at. So I ended up getting Planting Gardens and Graves Volume 1 by R.H. Sin and Volume 2. These were actually like only about $6 a piece. These are poetry books. They're very simple, very quick. I've been looking at these for quite a while. I have read one book by R.H. Sin before. I'm gonna have to go back and investigate which book I read by him before that I really enjoyed. But I've been looking at these for like a while, and when I saw them for $6 each on the clearance area, like I just knew that it was meant to be. Just one of those like kind of things. So another book that I ended up getting is Gideon the Ninth by Tasmin Mir. This I actually got from one of my book boxes. This I got from my Illumicrate book box, and it has beautiful sprayed edges, and I absolutely adore books with sprayed edges. And this is about a lesbian necromancer. I've heard nothing but great things about this, so I really have to get to this very soon. But I mean, it sounds ridiculously amazing. Here, let me just, like, for those of you who don't know what this is about, I really feel like I need to read this to you. Brought up by unfriendly, ossifying nuns, ancient retainers, and countless skeletons, Gideon is ready to abandon a life of servitude and an afterlife as a reanimated corpse. She packs up her sword, her shoes, and her dirty magazines and prepares to launch her daring escape. But her childhood nemesis won't set her free without a service. Harrowhawk Nana Magnus, Reverend Daughter of the Ninth House and Bone Witch Extraordinaire, has been summoned into action. The Emperor has invited the heirs to each of his loyal houses to a deadly trial of wits and skill. If Harrowhawk succeeds, she will become an immortal, all-powerful servant of the resurrection, but no necromancer can ascend without their cavalier. Without Gideon's sword, Harrow will fail, and the Ninth House will die. Of course, some things are better left dead. I've heard nothing but good things about this. Like, so many people have read this already and they loved it, so I'm very excited to get to this. So another book that I ended up getting in the one of my August book boxes, was House of Salt and Sorrow by Aaron A. Craig. This was a really surprise for me. I mean, not to mention, like, I'm still to this day obsessing like over these end pages. These end pages are gorgeous, and for me, like, this is like the biggest thing because like I love this. I mean, the book itself is very gorgeous. It's got like the raised lettering and everything, and so it's just gorgeous in general, but I'm so excited for this. Like, I think this is just going to be amazing. And this is actually based on the 12 Dancing Princesses. I heard it's like really dark, but I really like the dark books. Like, they make me happy for some reason. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't know. So I ended up going and shopping off of Amazon, and I found Somewhere Only We Know by Maureen Gu. This is a light and happy YA contemporary, and I heard that it kind of reminded people of like a K-drama, and I haven't watched a ton of K-dramas, but when I do, I absolutely adore them. Like, they're so much fun. I don't really have the time like to watch a ton of them, but When I heard about this, I was just like, K-drama book? Sold. So I'm really excited to be getting to this as well. In a normal situation, I would be cautious, but today was today. The usual rules do not apply, and that's the kind of like the saying like on the back of the book. I know, it's so pretty, and look how beautiful, like it's all pink, and I love pink. So very excited about this as well. The next book that I got from Amazon. It was on sale. Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Ribray. I heard a little bit about this. I don't know too much about it, other than the fact like that it's been getting a lot more hype as time goes on, and I haven't really heard like a ton of bad stuff about this. I'll go ahead and read you guys the inside. Rigaro plans to spend the last semester of his senior year playing video games before heading to the University of Michigan in the fall. But when he discovers that his cousin Jun was murdered as part of a President Durante's war on drugs, and no one in his family wants to talk about what happened, Jay travels to the Philippines to find out the real story. Hoping to uncover more about Jun and the events that led to his death, Jay is forced to reckon with the many sides of his cousin before he can face the whole truth and the part he played in it. As gripping as it is lyrical, Patron Saints of Nothing is a riveting portrayal of the struggle to reconcile grief, guilt, faith, and family. So that's pretty much why I got that. It sounded amazing. So the next book that I ended up getting is Emily Eternal by M.G. Wheaton. I've seen this around, and I believe it's more of a science fiction book, YA book, and I'm kind of very interested in this. It says Visionary, the best AI character since HAL 9000, which was blurbed by Blake Crouch. And Blake Crouch has been very notorious for writing a lot of really interesting things. I actually think this was a gift, like whoever I got it from like was gifted to it from the publisher, because I got one of these in it, and usually like they only send these like with gifts from the publisher. So I'm kind of thinking that's what that was. So I'm just going to go ahead and read you guys like a little bit about Emily Eternal. Emily Eternal. In many ways, Emily is just like any other MIT grad student. She lives in an on-campus apartment that's tastefully, if inexpensively, decorated. She's extremely intelligent and hardworking. She's got a favorite sweatshirt, red from a rival school, which could possibly use a trip to the washing machine. Her relationship with herbal tea is borderline spiritual. But Emily's not quite like other grad students. Emily is an artificial consciousness developed at MIT in the hopes of taking both machine learning and our understanding of consciousness to new heights. Her specialty, helping individuals recover from trauma. Unfortunately, just a few short years after her awakening, the world discovers the sun is about to die and all life on Earth will perish alongside it. Emily, like everyone else, is bummed, not just for herself, but because she's grown to love and appreciate everything that makes humanity so special. So when the Vice President of the United States shows up with word that Emily's unique ability to mesh with human consciousness might just end up saving us all, Emily should be ecstatic, but the government's plan may not be as benevolent as it first appears. As Emily soon discovers, not everyone agrees. Emily is the best solution or has the best intentions. Before Emily's plan can be tested, her lab is brutally attacked and Emily is forced to go on the run with two human companions, college student Jason and small-town sheriff Myra. As the sun's death draws near, Emily and her friends must race against time to save humanity. It's not only the species at stake, but also that which makes us most human. This just sounded so amazing. Science fiction, artificial intelligence. It sounds like another one of those books that's just going to kind of dive into like what makes us human. And I love those books, so this was a seller for me. So the last few books that I ended up getting were from my Book of the Month Club. I am now a YA affiliate. I'm going to have a link down in the bottom below. It does help me out if you guys do sign up for it through my link, and I would appreciate it. But this is the adult version of Book of the Month, which is nice because the adult version of Book of the Month, like their primary book that you pick is one of the adult ones, and then they also give you a small selection of the YA books that you have to choose from as well. So you kind of get a nice mixture with them as well. The YA Book of the Month actually just focuses on young adult, period. So before I knew I was getting it, I ordered this because I had no idea what I was going to be getting. So I actually ended up with two books for House of Salt and Sorrow, Aaron A. Craig. I like the fact that this is bigger, and the writing is much bigger in this as well. I'm not sure which one I'm going to end up actually like reading and tabbing up yet. Probably will be this one, and then I'll just keep the other like one, and I might spray its edges or something, because like I really want to do a video on sprayed edges. When I went to BookNet Fest, we did some sprayed edging, and it was so much fun, and I really like kind of like want to get into doing it myself, so I don't have to keep buying books with sprayed edges because they usually cost more. So I'm kind of hoping to do that with one of these books as far as experimentation goes. This is also a very much a classic. This is a second pick that I got from Book of the Month. The Devil in the White City, Murder, Magic, Madness at the Fair That Changed America by Eric Larson. So this is about the White City Devil. I believe it takes place in Detroit. I'm sorry, Chicago, circa 1893 to vivid life. Yes, 1893 Chicago is when this takes place, and it's actually about the serial killer called the White City Devil. I believe the newest Carrie Maniscalco book, Capturing the Devil, is actually going to be on this serial killer, so I kind of wanted to get a little bit more of a picture of the Chicago City White Devil, and I kind of felt like this would really help me with that, so it's kind of like why I decided to pick this one as being one of the classics like that I picked. Another book that I got is Well Met by Jean DeLuca. This is an adult romance, so I'm guessing there's probably going to be like some smutty sex scenes in it, just a guess. But this has got that hate to love kind of trope in it, and it takes place at a Renaissance fair where like these two characters, like they don't get along when they are dressed normally, but like when they're in Renaissance gear, they get along just fine. So it kind of feels like it's going to be pretty angsty. It also feels like there's going to be a lot of chemistry in this between the two characters. So yes, I had to just change my battery just then, and if there was a brand for batteries dying, it would definitely be on this channel. So there was a few books that I forgot to haul last month that I'm really excited for, and I wanted to go ahead and kind of just like get into those as well. So the first book, I don't remember if I hauled this in a previous haul, but I ended up getting Peace and Turmoil, The Dark Shores, Book 1 by Elliot Brooks. She is a booktuber. I'm going to head and leave her link in the description above. You guys should definitely check out her channel. She's really awesome, and this is her first self-published fantasy book. So my lipstick. I just rubbed it. Did I mess my lipstick up? No, I think I'm good. So this actually sounds really amazing. And then back it says, must the world always be in a state of mourning. This cover was also designed by Captured in Words. I will also leave that link in the description above as well. But look how beautiful this cover is. It's very reminiscent of Brandon Sanderson's UK covers. Even the spine is like a little bit as well. But this is just a gorgeous book. I kind of like want to go through and spray paint the edges purple. I saw somebody else do it on their channel, and it just seems like such an amazing idea. I'm really excited to do that though. So I'm going to read you guys the inside of this. 30 years of peace have graced the lands of Abram. The waning bloodshed from the war on fire has ended, and the new generations have only the horrid tales of their forefathers to remind them of their country's pasts. Poverty no longer prevails. The sights and palms of men have grown soft, yet foreign nations dictate more power than they know. Civil unrest stirs among the first, the heir to the throne of Medusa, and the guardian to its dagger questioned by a growing rebellion. To its south lies a country of scholars, the mighty nation of Zenith, liberators of the war of fire and guardians of the amulet. Over the dividing walls lives the newly freed Sadie, a kingdom with an assassin for a prince and an insurgent at its heels. The fourth is the ancient realm of Eve, the land across the sea, gifted and cursed with a sight as it shows them what's to come. Only one knows the fate of the world, but all will be pawns in its reckoning. It sounds so amazing. And it's pretty thick, but the writing is not terribly small, so I don't feel like this is going to be like one of those books that's going to take forever to get through. But the premise for it sounds really amazing, and she has already announced that she's going to be doing a second one, because I believe this is the first in a trilogy. The next book that I got is Patrick Rothfuss, The Wise Man's Fear, and this is the sequel to The Name of the Wind. I wanted to go ahead and get this because I heard recently that the third book on Daniel Green's channel is going to be released next year, and I didn't want to rush into the series until after I knew that they had a designated date for the third one, because I want to make sure that I was going to be able to complete this trilogy, because this is a really popular trilogy and a lot of people really love this a lot. So I'm hoping that they have it out soon, and I'm really hoping to love these. So basically this takes place with a guy, and he's kind of telling a story, and it takes place in the span of 3 days. So Name of the Wind was the first day, then Wise Man's Fear is the second one, and then the third book that they're coming out with is going to be the third day. But it's kind of I guess a lot happens during that. So I kind of wonder regarding because these books are so thick, about pacing and stuff, but I've heard a lot of people really love these, and I'm really excited to finally be digging into these hopefully soon, because this is such a popular series. The next book that I got is The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. This book has been around quite a bit. I ended up finding it for a really cheap price, and so I ended up getting it because I really am curious about it. I love the dragon detail like on the front. I think this book is gorgeous, but the inside, what it's really about, is also going to be pretty awesome. When destiny calls, there's no fighting back. Chiron grew up in the slums of Kor, a thief and a minstrel's son raised on tales of long-lost princes and magnificent quests. When he is claimed against his will as the missing son of a treacherous prince, Chiron finds himself at the mercy of his new family's ruthless power plays and political ambitions. Practically a prisoner, Chiron discovers that being a long-lost prince is nothing like what the storybooks have promised. The storybooks lied about a lot of other things too. Dragons, demons, gods, prophecies, true love, and how the hero always wins. Then again, maybe he isn't the hero after all, for Chiron is not destined to save the Empire. He's destined to destroy it. And this is also the first in a trilogy. So I'm really, really, really excited about that because a lot of people have been loving that book. So the last book that I have is A Lesson in Thorns. And I believe that this is the first in a series as well. Like, this is going to be smutty, adult, I believe a female fantasy? Is it female? I don't know. I know it's female. I just can't remember if it's a fantasy or not. And it's about these 6 kids that kind of grew up together, and then like later on, like they end up coming back together after like they've become adults. And it's 12 years later, and the heir, the dreamer, the priest, the genius, and the socialite, the saint, they all come back together. And it's about a place that kind of like coils itself around them, and they're trying to fulfill like the ruins, I believe. Like there's like something going like on with the ruins, but it's kind of like a forgotten place like that they forgot like a long time ago. Like it's a lot of people know about it. It's very remote. So I kind of like the premise for this, and I've heard like a lot of really awesome things about this, and so I'm really glad to be getting into this. So that concludes my book haul. I have a link for a survey that I'm doing in the bottom. I would really appreciate it if you guys took that for me. It's very quick. It's only 6 questions long. It's very quick. Just a few short answers, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, hit the little like, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell icon if you want to receive emails every time I post. Also, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Amazon, and Goodreads. Those links are linked in the description below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching me, and I'll see you guys again very soon.